as June 1st approaches, it is becoming more and more interesting to find out what the hell's going to happen to Zach Ertz.
Hail the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole.
Dingbat! Oh shit! Oh shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So before we get started on this video, just a quick announcement, really quick. The Philly Shakedown podcast will not be this Saturday. We're going to be doing it Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel. I can't do it on Saturday. I have some things going on. So we're going to do it Friday night. Look for that. I'll put out stuff for you guys so you'll know. But we'll be doing it on Friday instead of Saturday this week. I appreciate you guys understanding with the schedule change. This one's on me. I got family coming. I got my parents coming to the house. So I'll be at the airport picking them up when we usually would do it. So yeah, so we'll be doing it Friday. Look for that. Should be a lot of fun. Now, Zach Ertz and this whole situation with Zach Ertz has been dragging out all off season. Dude, not gonna lie to you, this thing's been dragging out for 2 years. Because as far as I'm concerned, once you drafted Dallas Goedert with the second round pick, the writings was on the wall that eventually he was going to replace Zach Ertz. Now the situation and the question really was when were they going to do it? And the time to trade Zach Ertz was 2019. The Eagles, they waited too long, which has been a problem for the Eagles, for Howie Roseman in the past, holding on to guys a little bit too long. So that's exactly what the Eagles did. Zach Ertz, he remained. He wasn't happy with his contract. I mean, it was even to the point where in December of 2019, the Eagles offered him contracts. They actually offered him extension. Now, if he takes that extension, let's just think about this. Let's say they would have paid Zach Ertz big money, because it was still a pretty big contract. It wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to be paid as a top 3 tight end. However, if Zach Ertz signs that contract in December, what does that even mean now? Are you getting rid of Zach Ertz? Are we letting Dallas Goedert walk? It would have been very interesting, but he didn't take the contract. The Eagles weren't able to do a deal with him, and he came into 2020 unhappy. He came into 2020 not happy, not himself. We heard before week 1, Zach Ertz fighting with Howie Roseman, having a verbal argument people saw. He was not happy. I think in that Washington game, week 1, he scores a touchdown quick. But then he really didn't do much after that. He was hurt. He was just, a lot of times you could honestly watch Zach Ertz and he looked like he was just disengaged. It did look like that. I'm sorry to say, but that's how it looked sometimes in 2020. He was also very banged up. And now we're getting reports from guys like Albert Breer and stuff saying that teams think Zach Ertz looks stiff, looks slow, looks heavy, and maybe he's not the same guy he was a few years ago. He is not in his prime. Here's my thoughts on it. Zach Ertz was injured. He was banged up. It was a weird off-season last year. I'd have to see him one more off-season before I'm going to say, oh, yeah, he doesn't have it anymore. I don't know. Last year was such a wacky year. But teams are going to use this in leverage to try to get him. Okay, so they're going to put things out like that, hoping to kill the leverage that the Eagles have on him. Or, well, they really don't have any leverage anymore. They don't even have any value. It's just a matter of, for these teams, how cheap can they get Zach Ertz? A lot of us may say, well, Zach Ertz is worth a 4th round pick. Teams aren't going to pay that. They don't want to pay it. And now you have a situation where the Eagles held on to Zach Ertz too long. And they've destroyed his trade value. Him being unhappy, wanting out of Philly, that doesn't help matters either. And now the question is what's going to happen to Zach Ertz? Zach Ertz, eventually will be in the Eagles Hall of Fame. He's one of the Eagles' all-time greats, helped us win a Super Bowl. Love everything he did, love everything about him. But in my opinion, he's got to go. He has to go. One reason he's got to go, because if you go after June 1st, he's going to save the Eagles about $8.5 million under the cap this year. Okay? That could be key to, going out and bringing in another cornerback, something like that. You're also going to clear Alshon Jeffrey's money. And you're also going to clear Malik Jackson's money June 1st, okay? So we're hearing these reports that Zach Ertz, apparently he's slow, he doesn't have it, right? To me, this is just teams leveraging and trying to get themselves in a position to get this guy cheap. I'm sure a lot of teams would love it if Zach Ertz would just get cut and then, boom, try to sign him. Or maybe the Eagles would be so willing to give up, to let him go for anything, they would take a future draft pick, take a 7th round pick. I'm sure teams would love that. I mean, there's even, ESPN even has, they even have trade proposals right now where the Eagles send him to Buffalo, send Zach Ertz to Buffalo, because a lot of people think Zach Ertz is going to end up in the AFC East. So a lot of people think the Buffalo Bills may be the place where he goes. And it might be. But in this trade proposal, I forget which they had a player, like a young tight end, and a 7th round pick. And basically the Eagles were giving Zach Ertz away to Buffalo for nothing. This is what people want. And to be honest with you, at this point, I don't know what the Eagles can do. If you keep Zach Ertz, you have to pay him that money. He is not going to be happy. Okay, so you have those two things you have to deal with. Now, he could come in, shut up, and play, and try to prove himself with a 1-year deal, or, last year of his deal, and try to get to a position to be a free agent and get a lot of money. That's great. That's great for Zach Ertz. But what does that say for, and what does that do for Dallas Goedert? Dallas Goedert is a young tight end, 2nd round pick, has shown flashes, also has been hurt a little too much. Dallas Goedert, he has to be looked at as the future tight end of the Eagles going forward in the next 5-6 years. So his contract is up. His rookie contract is up, okay? His whole rookie contract, he has been the backup tight end. Now, you've got to pay him after this year. You have to extend him or he goes. You could lose both guys, technically. What are you going to do? Keep Zach Ertz and let Dallas Goedert walk? He's younger. You can't do that. You can't do it, because if you do it, we're just going on past performances. We're going on past things that Zach Ertz did in the future. We're not paying him for what he's going to do. You want to pay guys for what they're going to do in the future. You got to reward them. Yes, at some point you have to reward. I can't talk. All right? You have to reward guys for what they did in the past, only to a certain point. If you're only rewarding them for what they did in the past and not what they're going to do going forward, you're going to get killed. The Eagles have fallen into this trap a lot. I don't want to see it happen again. Zach Ertz has to go. He is going to have to go. And if he doesn't go, I think the Eagles are going to have a problem. I really, really do. To me, Zach Ertz, whether it's a 7th round pick, whether it's a future pick, whether it's whatever, at the end of the day, you have to clear that $8.5 million off the cap. You have to put Dallas Goedert out there as your starter. The other thing is, too, you're not going to keep Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz and then tell Zach Ertz, you're the backup tight end this year. How do you do that? I don't know how you do that. Okay, look, I love Zach Ertz. I really do. But I got to tell you, the time has come. Time has come for many, many players. And Zach Ertz, to me, has to go. And now we're hearing, like I said, we're starting to hear about him possibly going to the AFC East. We're hearing about him possibly, being stiffer and slower and not the same guy. To me, this is all talk to try to get Zach Ertz to a team as cheap as possible. Destroy the rest of his trade value while they can, and then try to get him for nothing or for as little as possible. Wherever Zach Ertz goes, okay, if it's Indianapolis, if it's Buffalo, if it's any of those teams, he's going to be a difference maker on that team. No question about it. And you may say, well, why can't he be a difference maker difference maker on our team. And the reason I say that is because our team is younger, our team is going youth, and our team is a few years away from really competing. And for us, we have to be sure, we have to be absolutely positive that Dallas Goedert is the future, that he is the guy that we need to sign long term. I think you have to play him. I think the best thing for the Eagles, the best thing for Zach Ertz, the best thing for Dallas Goedert, the best thing is for Ertz to go after June 1st. Save that $8.5 million. Let Zach Ertz go somewhere, prove it, have a chance to win again. Let's get Dallas Goedert in there and let's see what he's made of. Let's see if he could be the guy who takes us into the future at the tight end position. And then we can sign him to a contract extension. So a lot of Zach Ertz talk, but June 1st is coming. And look, soon enough, we are going to know what the hell's going on with Zach Ertz. I think he's gone. It's just a matter of time. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And of course, don't be a dingbat. I go to the doctors last night, right? First thing you do when you get to the doctors, they put you on a scale. So I get on a scale, right? And I look. I cannot believe what that mother humping scale said. Cannot believe it. And I'm sitting there. And as I'm reading this scale, I hear this voice, clear as day. I mean, clear as day in my head. And it has a southern accent. And I don't know where this voice comes from, a movie or something. I don't remember. But there's clear as day in a southern accent. As I'm looking at the reading on the scale, I hear this voice says, "You're fatter than fuck." And all of a sudden, I start cracking up because it was so clear. And "You're fatter than fuck." And I'm like laughing and I'm falling off the scale and the nurse is looking at me and I'm about to cry because it's so pathetic. And oh my gosh, I just hear this voice and it's been with me all night long. "You're fatter than fuck." And it's just driving me nuts. And that means I've got to lose weight. I've got to get in shape. Philly 500's got to go on a diet. And that's the plan. When? Who the hell knows? I got to go on vacation in June. I got a couple weeks before that. I think I'm going to try for 2 weeks. Then I'll give myself a break because I'm going to be away. It's going to be hard. Then when I come back, I'm hitting hardcore. And you peoples are going to have to keep me. You're going to have to keep me in check. You're going to have to keep me in check or double moonwalk my ass.